Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on how to land a six-figure technology career in 2025. I'm super delighted to be here. And just by way of introduction, I'm joining from London, UK, right? So my name is Kemi Oye. I'm an executive and career coach, a TEDx speaker, trainer, and an HR expert with over 20 years of experience in the career and leadership development space. And I'm going to be your host for the next, 59 minutes, because we're going to keep it short, sharp, and powerful. And so I'm really delighted. Now that you know who I am and where I'm joining from, I would like to get to meet people on the call. So please share in the chat function your name and where you are connecting from. I really want to connect with you, right? On a deeper level, because today there's so much that's going to be shared that will absolutely revolutionize your life. So today's revelation is going to be hot, hot, hot. It was Oscar Wilde that said, "Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. And when you touch it, the bloom is gone." So I'm hoping that today's session is going to be absolutely phenomenal and will kill that ignorance in relation to what you don't know about technology and the opportunities that are available to you. So Dion, we've got Dion from Toronto. Nice to meet you. Who else do I have on this call? Gosh, come on, guys. I need to connect with you. So where are you connecting from? And please share your name. So please share your name and where you're connecting from. I would like to meet with you. And whilst we're doing that, can you please share this link with anyone you feel needs to be in this room in this minute right now? We're only going to have this for the next, 58 minutes, and we're going to be sticking to time. So if you snooze, you lose. If you're late, you lose. So please bring in anyone who has got to be in this room right now. I don't see anyone sharing who they are and where they're calling from. So please share. I don't want to be the only one talking to space, even though I can talk for as long as you allow me to. But please share in the chat function where you're connecting from and your name. I can't see anything. Have I only got Dion in this room? Like, is it only myself and Dion in this room? I can't see you. I can't. Excellent. So let's see. Who do I have? Or maybe I'm not looking at the chat function correctly. I am. I'm waiting. Guys. I'm waiting to hear from you. Who is with me in this room? Yes, I have got Omawumi, the president. I love this woman. She is absolutely phenomenal. And thank you for joining from Lagos. Of course, it's going to be 60 minutes well spent. In fact, I wouldn't use the word spent. I will say 60 minutes well invested. So please bring as many people as you would like to into the room. Now, I'm going to move on. And just to say, I'm so delighted to be here and very excited to have you here. You know, we're going to dive into the rapidly evolving world of technology. And we're going to be exploring the opportunities that await you in the coming years. Quite often, you know, it's said, oh, we don't know the future of work. We don't know where it's going. We don't know what's going to happen. We live in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. VUCA is the name that keeps ringing in a lot of people's mind, as well as Bani. You would have heard, you know, the world we live in today is brittle. It's, you know, a lot of people are anxious. There's the whole non-linear career, and it's incomprehensible. But today's session will absolutely open your mind to a world of technology. And what you're going to glean is the strategies and essential skills and insider tips. This is stuff that you're not going to get in many places, right? So insider tips on how to position yourself for a successful career. So if you are looking for impact, you're in the right room. If you're looking for influence, you're in the right room. Or if you would like to make some money, and you are in the right room, because again, this is all about landing that six-figure technology career. So please get as many people in the room as you can whilst I move on. So please sit back, relax, get a drink, make sure you have a notebook. Make sure you have a notebook, because you are going to leave today with so much knowledge, so much information that will absolutely change your mindset and open you to a world of technology. We really want to get you on a path to a thriving career in tech. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the main man, the highlight of this event. I was reading his bio and I thought, gosh, is this one person, one human being? Gosh, amazing. So I'm just going to read to you his bio, okay? So it's Dr. Finn Dittamy is a distinguished technology executive, AI ML specialist, and fractional chief product officer, renowned for his ability to launch and scale groundbreaking products. He's the founder and principal consultant at F&F Consultancy. He's driven transformative growth for global powerhouses like Bell and Bombardier, contributing over $50 million in revenue across 30 plus product launches. Gosh, isn't that huge, right? His expertise spans fractional leadership, digital transformation, and career coaching, empowering startups and established companies to scale effectively and seize new market opportunities. So guys, if that's sounding like Latin, don't worry, you're in the right place. You are in the right place. We will take care of you and make it as lay as possible for those who are not tech savvy, okay? So Dr. Finn is equipped with a PhD in artificial intelligence and machine learning from Concordia University, Canada. Isn't that deep? Dr. Finn has impacted over 1,500 students, lecturing at esteemed institutions in North America. He's a respected thought leader. Of course he is. Gosh, with a PhD in AI, of course he's got to be a thought leader. He's constantly invited to share insights on AI, product management, and business growth on leading platforms across print, digital, and broadcast media. He is a mentor with Futurepreneur and an advisor to Canada's Digital Adoption Program. He supports SMEs and entrepreneurs and in navigating transformative challenges. So whether he's delivering dynamic keynote addresses, designing tailored training programs, or crafting strategic solutions, Dr. Finn continues to shape the digital and technology landscape as a sought-after thought leader and innovator. And you can connect with him via LinkedIn. Guys. I mean, did you just listen to me reading out that bio? That is not a joke. So I would like for you to heat up this room, right? Heat this room up with your applause, with your warm welcome, with your love, with your emojis, and just make welcome this trailblazing and ingenious Dr. Finn Dittamy. Over to you, sir.
Hi, thanks, Kemi. Thanks for the introduction. So excited to be having this webinar and to kind of spend some time talking about some of the key things or opportunities that we're seeing in tech, and also to ensure that you guys not just know about what's happening, but prepare your mind and prepare yourself for opportunities that you're going to be seeing soon. So I'm going to be walking you guys through a couple of things shortly to ensure that it's not just another session of us talking through possibilities, but actually taking you through a more structured approach that anyone can apply. And I've seen this being applied, not specifically to only tech-related roles, but any career path you find yourself. However, we're going to be tailoring it today to help you ensure that you get it. So let me know in the chat if you can all see my screen. Everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So today we're going to be talking about 2025. So it's kind of countdown to 2025. We're at the 14th. We basically have 16, 17 days to go. And everyone is kind of wrapping up and taking time to look at what they've done within the last year And also, this is the time where we start thinking of planning for the next year, or coming up with our next year plan or direction or things we want to achieve. So I thought it right to be an opportunity to talk to you guys about what you could possibly do in the next year and ensure that you kind of have a plan to get your dream job. So if you don't get into it today, the key thing I want you to be able to take away from it is, how do you get your dream job? I will put together a 5-step plan that can help you achieve that. And that's what we're going to be talking about. The first thing is self-assessment. How do you know yourself and your goal and ensure that you are able to not just prepare for the next year, but assess yourself to know the opportunities, your strengths, your weakness. We're also going to talk about the skill development. How do you get the needed skills to get that dream job? And when you've gotten the needed skills, how do you present yourself in a resume with regards to that dream job? And then we're going to go into building the online presence for people that want to hire you to find you and give you that opportunity. And lastly, how do you prepare if you're called to come interview for positions in tech? How do you ensure that you're able to sell yourself? Because interviews are basically a sales pitch. So now let's jump right into it. So what is self-assessment? Key thing here is your ability to know yourself and your goals. And how do you go about that? First one is to understand what you're passionate about. What are the skills you already have from the present educational qualifications or jobs that you've done? What is your career aspiration? You want to become a CEO, a director, a manager 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now? Because you understanding that helps you to align the decisions that you take in terms of the roles that you pick to transition into tech. The next one is, what are your strengths? Because you always want to move from a point of confidence and then gradually build out the gaps or the areas that you need to get better at to be able to get to where you want to get. So what are the things that you can provide to companies off the bat? You want to write them down, highlight these skills, and cross-match them with the in-demand roles that we're going to talk about today, so that you can see what are the roles that already have the skill set to do 60% or 40% of what is needed for those roles. And then lastly, you also want to ensure that you assess this in terms of your transferable skills. Yes, I am able to communicate, I'm able to engage with people, I'm able to collaborate. I'm very good at engaging with stakeholders. I'm very good at asking questions to find out opportunities to get things better. So how do I now bring these transferable skills into the tech role so that I'm able to show them that I'm not a greenhorn, but I'm someone that has the needed skill set? Are there other achievements or key things that you've done that you think will be useful for you to present to show them that you have value? And also, are there challenges that you have actually faced that you've learned from that will be useful for you in guiding yourself to ensure that you're able to meet the expectation for the role? Or then lastly, you want to set very clear objectives. A lot of times when we're looking at setting goals for the new year, we kind of say, okay, I want to achieve A, B, C, D, but can you measure it? Is it specific? I want to get a business analyst job in the next 3 to 6 months. Is it measurable? You're giving yourself a timeline within the next 6 months. Is it achievable? Which means, okay, do I have the skill set? Do I need to acquire certain skill set? Do I need to acquire certain experience to achieve this? And is this relevant to me in terms of my direction for my career? And it has to be time bound, because a decision on an objective that does not have a duration is definitely gonna fail, because how do you measure yourself with regards to progress or even know when you have completed it or when you should complete? So we're talking about clear objective. We're looking at you setting short-term goals or even long-term goals, but with measurable, achievable milestones for you to know when you're getting there. And with your ability now to be able to self-assess yourself, know what you're strong at, know the gaps that you have, know the opportunities that there, know the transferable skills that you have off the bat, and set specific goals to guide you there, you would now be able to know where your strengths are and where you need to acquire the needed skill set to go to the next level, which leads us to the skill development. And for everyone who attends this seminar, we're going to be sharing freebie for you with regards to how to do your self-assessment. The form a simple document that you can fill out to help you or guide you in pulling out this information about yourself, so you can ensure that you're focusing on the relevant role that would help take you to the direction with regards to the skills that you want to achieve. So now when we talk about skills acquisition or skill development, it's about choosing the right educational path. And this involves you researching what are the career opportunities that are available within the city, the state, the country that I'm based, the industry that are already working, or industry that I'm comfortable with, and what are some of those key job roles that are available out there, so that I can make an informed decision about the direction I want to go. And then when you've done that, it's now easy for you to pick a role to say, okay, now I want to deepen my knowledge about it. I want to acquire the skill set about it. I want to gain the necessary knowledge. And it could be through formal education, it could be through trainings, and it could be through even experiential learning, which is working with somebody to gather the required knowledge. So there are many ways people learn. And most of the time I try to want to let people understand themselves first so that they can pick the right tool. Some people are self-driven, which means that they can go and actually hold themselves accountable to go through trainings and actually finish it without an instructor leading. I would call that concept self-paced. Why some people need that discipline of an instructor-led program to help them go through step-by-step process, get the mentorship, the coaching, the direction that they need to ensure that they are in the right track. They make the mistakes within the processes and get corrected so that they are able to present themselves at a particular interview or job or company and hit the ground running. Some people also might want to go to workshops or seminars like this to hear people talk and understand and be able to grasp information. Some people might go the traditional route of internship. Some people might also go through the certification route also to say, okay, I want to gather specific knowledge before I go deeper. However, irrespective of the method that you go through, you still need to deep dive with regards to a specific role that you want. We have certain roles that we've kind of termed no-code roles, which means you don't want to be a software developer, but you want to actually work in tech. And there are a lot of roles that are available, and we're going to talk about some of the key roles. And we kind of divide them into two buckets: process roles and people management roles. So people management roles require you to manage other people to get their work done, or manage the way people get their work done. While process managed roles are roles that requires you to see how to improve a process or create a process or create a system that developers will take and implement into a software application or even a data application to ensure that people are able to get value from the product that is being built. And your ability to understand where you fit. If you like to work with people, you like to coordinate people, you like to motivate people, then people management role might be a natural fit for you. But if you prefer to actually critically think about processes, find opportunities to make things better, then process roles like business analyst or product owner or product manager will work for you. So let's look a little bit about what each of these roles do. First one is a business analyst. So business analyst is kind of like the bridge guy between what you want to achieve in a company in terms of their objective and what probably technology can help them solve. So you're looking at processes, looking at people, looking at the work that's getting done. You're like, how do we make this better? And it will involve you analyzing processes and gathering information for you to be able to document how you can improve these processes, and also communicating with the business people, communicating with the technology guys to ensure that you understand how this change would happen, and even looking at gaps to identify them and inform everyone within the team of the possibilities of us getting things better by implementing this, so that the developers or the technical guys can go write the code to get this application done. And the salaries are pretty good. In the US, people are earning 6 figures from it. And this is kind of like the lowest level you could get in Canada, same thing in the UK. And even in Africa, people are being able to work remotely and earn good amount from doing this role. And this does not require you to go through a 4 years educational program. You could acquire this by going through our bootcamp programs that we can train you, whether it's self-paced or live training, to help you acquire this knowledge. Also, we have product owners or product managers. Product owners and the product manager focus more on prioritizing the right functionality. So you use a software, you drive a car, whatever. What are the functionalities or the things that are available in that car? Those are what the product and product managers look at. How do we ensure that we're building the right functionality to keep growing? What does user needs from us? What is happening in the market? Everyone is seeing how AI is influencing every industry. Product owners right now are getting their heads down to understand how they can implement this into the product, because that's what the market is demanding. Also, what does the business want to do? The company who builds the software is trying to generate revenue, is trying to get more users on it. How do we ensure the users are coming to our product? How do we ensure that we're generating revenue from the product? And ensure that all through the lifespan of that product being available, it's giving values to customers and it's growing. And the salaries are also tremendous for entry-level positions, ranging from 6 figures in the US and Canada to around 50, 60,000. And this is just starting point. We have alumni and people that are earning way more than that, depending on the country, depending on the areas. And these are some of the things we will show you when you are a part of one of our programs. We also have the Scrum Master, which focuses on getting a team to work together using the Scrum approach. And the Scrum approach is just a framework that helps you to be able to implement any type of software properly. Also going to help to ensure that if there's any issues or challenges as they're working through processes, that it's also faced. And this person stands in to ensure that the team is building a valuable product or solution. And this includes both the software developers, design, and everybody else. And this is also a very good paying role, as you can see, across different countries and continents. And we also have a project manager, which is similar to what we call like a party planner or even an event planner, which is they have a start date and an end date, and their job is to ensure that you're implementing on time, in budget. Companies don't like to waste money. So they are investing in getting someone that can hold the team accountable to do the work on time, to deliver what they expected, and to give high quality, and ensure that if there's any challenges, works with the team to get it fixed. And it's a very good high paying roles. And this is some of the top no code roles, as we like to call it, which these are roles that do not require you to write any type of code at all. And we also have roles that we can say are partial coding roles. When we say partial coding roles, we mean these roles require you to do a little bit of programming, but do not require you to be an expert as a software developer. But they focus more on roles that require you to look at information or data, as we like to call it, review them, and make sure that we're making the right decision using information or data that we have gathered. So for example, let's look at data analyst. The data analyst focuses more on gathering information. So software is live and users, for example, everyone here knows Netflix or Spotify. You use this product, you're playing for Spotify, you're playing specific music and all of that, and you're logging in at certain times and using it. The data analyst is the person that will gather this information about the things you're doing or the things the people are doing and actually aggregate them or arrange them in a way that the business will be able to take decisions to say, let us add these functionalities, let us make this part of the application better because this is what customers are using, or this is what people are using, or these are the things that we think would help them get better at using the product. Then the data scientists are more the guys at the back end that are building what we call the architecture, where you have all this data where it's stored, the databases, the structures, and building what we even traditional data models or what we call AI or machine learning on top of the data so that we can use it to make decisions. And these roles are also earning pretty good within the tech space. So if you're interested in no code roles, you've got them. You're never going to see any line of code. You're never going to need to worry about programming and all of that. You're interested in looking into data because that's something you're interested in, and you want to deepen your expertise, then you have the data analyst and the data scientist. And this is some of the roles that are available. So now that we know the skills that we can acquire, how do we now craft a killer resume that companies will be interested in? First thing you want to do is ensure that you have a good resume template that has good structure in terms of an executive summary that shows this is a summation of the value that I have given in other companies. Also, your professional experience, the tools or the software or the applications. And when we talk about software, people think it's complicated. Microsoft Word is a software. Google Suite is a software. Zoom is a software. Not everybody knows how to use these tools on a daily basis. So it's the same tools that you're already using that we also use within planning and implementation in tech. Also, educational background. All you need is to be able to read, write, and possess some basic high school education, and you should be fine to break into tech. But if you have any advanced like masters, BSc, all of that, that's also fine, but it is not a blocker. All you need is to be able to read and write. And then any type of credentials or experience that you can show to them that you have acquired. And this is something that we will do within our life and our self-paced program for you to work on hands-on projects using the tools and the software to acquire the knowledge that you need to be able to now build the right resume. And the resume, you want to have the valid keywords, which are the terms that we use within the industry. So for business analysts, for example, you want to be able to gather requirements. So in your resume, you should show that you've been able to gather requirements. As a project manager, you want to work within timeline and deliver within scope. So all those keywords and those achievements to show that you've done it somewhere else, which is something you will work on as part of your project within our program to help you acquire that quantifiable achievement that you can provide to show that I have done it somewhere else before and I can come replicate it in your company for you. And key thing also, we're also going to be providing your resume template to start with for everyone who registers for the program, because we want to make sure that you have the basic knowledge and information for you to be able to know where to start and prepare yourself. And then lastly, online presence. We now live in a digital world where we now even have what we call a digital economy, which means people are networking, people are working remotely, people are meeting and having professional relationships with people from different parts of the world. And one of the biggest places to do that is LinkedIn. A lot of time we shy away from that, but it's important that you're able to showcase your professional journey, the fun stuff that you build with us during the program, and also including your resume will work with you to present that appropriately to show value in LinkedIn, so that recruiters, so that hiring managers and people, or even people that are already in the industry, so you're looking to be a product manager, people that are already product managers can find you, and if their company are looking to hire, they can reach out and network with you to say, hey, are you interested? We are also hiring. And the second part, networking. There's nothing wrong in connecting with people that have walked the path that you are trying to work. So industry leaders, managers, people that are actually even just working in that role, to see what they're sharing, to connect with them, to engage with them, because one of the top ways of getting jobs nowadays is referrals. What's the best way to get a referral? Someone talks to you, you like the person, or the person is impressionable, and you recommend the person in your company. Say, hey, I met this nice dude or this chap, and I would like to work with them. We have this job opening. I would like to refer them. And mind you, a lot of companies are actually incentivizing their employees to refer people, which means they are actually giving them money to refer people. But people want to refer someone that they feel comfortable to. And the best way for you to show that they can be comfortable is by networking with them, engaging with them, talking with them on LinkedIn, and connecting with them to show that you want to be a part of in a circle that they are willing to recommend for a position. And lastly, the last step is interview readiness, which is how do you secure success in an interview? A lot of time people take this step for granted, but this is also a very critical step, because an interview is a sales pitch, and a person that's able to sell themselves the most and is impressionable is the person that gets the job. Not the smartest person, not the best person, but the person that is able to present themselves the most. And the first step for you doing that is to know the company that you're interviewing for. Do a bit of research. What's their culture? What's their values? What are their recent projects? And there's nothing wrong. And I make this joke a lot with alumni to say, stalk the people who are going to be part of the interview panel. Find out what they are posting, sharing, so that you can find a middle ground or something that you could talk about that shows that you have shared interests. People want to work with people that they like, outside even the needed skill set. Secondly, mock interview preparation. And it's something we work through internally and also with our alumni to say, you can do mock interview prep session with us. You could also do with other people. We can match you with other people with our alumni for you to actually go through the interview steps. Because in the interview, you want to tell a story. People like stories. So what you want to do is when you ask questions, you tell a story of how you solved that problem before, rather than the theoretical knowledge of this is how to solve the problem. Because now you just showed them that you can solve the problem off the bat for them because you've done or faced similar challenges before, and this was how you got it done. And you also want to practice behavioral questions. And I use an approach which I call STAR method, which I teach within all our programs when we start prepping for interview, which stands for situation, task, action, and result. What is the situation that you face? What are the tasks that needed to be done? What are the actions that you took to solve this problem? And what was the result that you got? This way, you show them in a clear manner how you can effectively come and replicate this for them and address similar issues that they are facing and provide measurable results for them. And lastly, you don't want to forget doing this. Close with a question. Every interview would ask you at the end of it, is there any question you have for me? A lot of times we feel confident enough to say, no, that's fine. But people want to see, or companies like to know that you're interested in them as much as they're interested in working with. So you want to ask Jenny interesting questions to show that you want the role. And there's nothing wrong with you asking. For example, what is the expectation for this role for the first 3 to 6 months? 3 months, because most companies do probation. So how do you meet that probation? You want to kind of know it. Also, you might want to ask them, what does success look like for this role? Because companies may have different measurable metrics or processes for what success looks like. And lastly, you want to ensure they never leave with any doubt, which is you probably can ask them about, is there any part of my answers that have left you in doubt about my ability to actually do this job? This forces them to think about what you would want them to think in front of you, which is, will I recommend this person? Or do I have any doubt about this person? And if they have any doubt, they 99% of the time would ask you that question that they would have left with, and just because of that biasness of not asking that question to confirm if their interpretation of your skill set is correct, for them to give you that job. And most time when you ask it, it helps to get you to the next level. So with this, you'll be able to get through any interview process or get through a clear process of getting your dream job. For all attendees, like I mentioned, you're going to get a self-assessment template, you're going to get a resume template, you're also going to get a LinkedIn referral to connect with people template, you're also going to get a job tracker template. And to ensure that you actually understand what these roles are, we actually have short trainings or free trainings for each of the roles. Product manager, business analyst, project manager, that you could take you between an hour or 2 to go through these free trainings with actual evaluation or quizzes at the end to confirm your knowledge, so that you can solidify your clarity with regards to this is the role I want to do. And everyone who has attended this will be given access to all of them, so that you can ensure that you're picking the right role that is best for you. So if you're someone that also like to be trained and get the mentorship and the coaching process to ensure that you not just go through a program, but you have the required team, live classes, live sessions, get trained. We have live classes that are 10 weeks and it's starting in January 11. 11th for the next cohort. And for everyone here, you have access to our early registration, which will give you discounts that I will announce at the end of it for all our programs here for you to join to start January 11th. It's going to be 10 weeks live classes to walk you through and train you theoretically and also train you practically and build a portfolio. And also you're going to use the tools, you'll be taught the tools that you would use at a job so that you are ready to hit the ground running. And for those that are more self-paced and also based out of Africa and due to financial budgets might want to look for a more strategic program that will give them the basic understanding of how to break into on an entry level. We also have self-paced programs that are available in all this area. And we've launched a new self-paced program in January that's going to be on virtual assistant. So what is that? You're based in Africa, you're based in Europe, and you're trying to get into administrative roles to be able to understand the software, the tools that are needed. This is one of the top roles that we're recommending and we're going to be providing to you to get into tech. And this is where I'll end my presentation today, and I'll hand it over back to our host, Ken.
Wow. Do you know, I don't know, was that value or not? Was that incredible or not? I mean, gosh, I'm in the career space, right? And a lot of what Dr. Finn is offering for free, I'm not sure I would offer it. So we really want to say thank you. That was absolutely phenomenal. And whilst you're gathering your questions, because I'm sure there are lots of questions that will come through. I mean, that was incredible. I took lots of notes, actually, even though I was, a bit like not distracted, but I was listening. I took notes. So your 5-step plan, I love it because it's very thorough. It doesn't, it didn't gloss over it. It's so thorough. The self-assessment, skill development, resume preparation, online presence, and interview readiness. And what I did, I love a bit of acronyms, right? So I went SSROI, return on investment, ROI at the end. So that's phenomenal. Now, we want to move on because of time. And we are going to move to our next session. And this is about alumni sharing their success stories and career transitions, right? So for some people, they're new to the tech space. To some people, they're not so new, but would like to elevate, right? So this session is really, it's always nice to hear from people who are obviously just like you and I, where we can all learn from their practical experiences. So their failures, their learnings, and all their successes into landing their dream jobs. So ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome our panelists, and I'm going to call them up. So first of all, we have Dion Imieka, who is a manager at Microsoft. Would you like to come on board? Next, we have Princess Akamia. She's a release train engineer at Macy's. And finally, we have Blessing Esimobi, who is a product owner at Harris Computer. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we make them feel very welcome? And I want to go back to earlier. I know I did say, where are you joining from? And I didn't see anything in the chat. But I'm so pleased to see a few people join us. So, Aneka, thank you so much for joining. Zam from Montreal, thank you. Gladys, Joanna, really nice to have you on board. So, whilst I've got my analysts, now is Princess coming up? I don't see you yet. Are you coming up on video? Fantastic.
Hey, Kemi.
Fantastic.
It's afternoon on my end here. This is 12:39 p.m. So I'll take it that it's also afternoon on your end as well. Hi all. Pardon my look. I'm under the weather. I've been up all night. So
No, that's fine. That's fine. So let me come to you, Princess, first. And I want to ask a question about interviews because Dr. Finn has talked about interview readiness. And I feel, it's not something to be glossed over. You really do have to be prepared. So my first question to you, Princess, is, what was the most challenging interview question you faced and how did you prepare for it?
Thank you for that question. First of all, let me introduce myself to everybody before I, proceed to answer your question. My name is Princess Akame. I'm a release train engineer that works with Macy's here in America, and a mom of two boys. Working mom. I know. And also, I started off my career about 7 years ago. Started off as a Scrum Master and then moved up to being a release train engineer. So back to your question, Kemi. Interviews are very tricky. They can be very intimidating sometimes. So to the most difficult question during my interview phase I ever really encountered was where they asked me, how do you get the team to respect you as a leader? Right, because then I started as a Scrum Master. You're working with developers, you're working with engineers. These are people that might have been with the organization for years before, you're coming in. So how do you get those people to respect you and, follow your lead as a leader of the team? There's no right or wrong answer to that. It's not a walk in the park, but one thing I always used to say is to say, I want to gain the trust of these team members, because without gaining the trust of these people, they won't see you as their leader. Well, how then do you gain the trust of those people? You want to be able to put yourself in the middle, right? You want to be able to study and observe. So what I do is I'll just give you a scenario. I get into the organization. I want to get to know who is the lead in this team. I want to get to know the people that actually rolling the dice in the team, right? So those are the people I want to penetrate. I want to break through to get their trust, because once I'm able to get the trust of the leads in the team, then I'm able to get the trust of every team member. Then, I'm also able to say things to them and they believe me, right? And then I also want to make the team feel like, hey, I'm not here to come work against you guys. I'm not here to come control you guys, but I'm here to support you guys as a team. It's a teamwork, right? So that's where it comes in. So that's how I'm gonna explain to whoever is gonna interview me, to say that's how I'm really gonna get the trust of the team to go by what I say. Right. And then when I'm talking to my team, I don't want to talk to them like, hey, I'm here to, when I say things, I want you guys to follow me. No, I'm giving you my suggestion. I'm actually giving you what I think at the top of my head. And I want you guys to tell me, what do you also think based off my view? Right. So this is me trading in with you based off your own view as well. So that's how you work with teams, and that's how you get them to trust you, and that's how you get them to, follow your lead as a leader, right? So
that's fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. So trust is absolutely important. And I love your collaborative leadership. Fantastic. So let me move to Blessing. I'm going to ask you a question around some of the, so Dr. Finn has offered a number of freebies as well as live classes and opportunities to learn, to train, and getting to the tech space. So my question to you, Blessing, is what skills or insights from the F&F product management program have been the most valuable in your current role?
Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Just in 1 minute, if you can.
Yes, of course. So yeah, I did take the course, and part of it was one of the most impactful or the most valuable things for me during the course was seeing things from the back end. So it's not just your regular role or what exactly is on the list of things you're supposed to do, check boxes. But then how do you interact with people? And like Princess was talking about, during the course, Dr. Finn actually goes through with his own experience. So he has a wealth of experience, when we were introducing him earlier, and he shows you from the back end of how the interaction works, trying to win the trust, trying to provide value as early as possible, as quickly as possible. and what those interactions look like, not just from a theoretical perspective, but also from experience, from his own wealth of experience. Yeah.
Fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. Already I'm thinking, do I need to join this train? Do I need to get on this training? I don't know. Okay, let me come to you, Dion. A lot of people on this call, either, I don't know if the replay is going to be available. So either they are in a place where they would like to transition into tech, or are already in tech but would like to navigate a different kind of transition. So my question to you is, what was the biggest obstacle that you faced during your transition, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, hi. Can you all hear me as well? My name is Dion. I work as a product manager for Microsoft now. But before then, I was a data center project manager, which is technically not like a tech background. It's like a day-to-day physical project when it comes to the data center. So I wanted to transition into the tech world. And if a cousin of mine introduced me to Finn, one thing that I love about him is he doesn't just push you to like, oh yes, come join my class. You will have like talk with him what you want to do and where you want to go, and tell you, okay, these are your options and these are your things. So because I have a little bit of project background, he said, okay, being a product manager in the tech role, you need some of these skills and some of that skills. And transitioning within Microsoft, because everyone just want to grow, because it's a company where people want to grow, right? So it was a little bit hard, but I took his class for 10 weeks, but technically I'm still in his class because sometimes I kind of like just text him and say, yo, bro, this is what I'm going through. What can I do? So one thing about transitioning from a non-tech to a tech role that I really gained was trying to understand the Agile framework, because the team that I work on now, they run on the Agile framework, and he taught me a lot. And you have to collaborate, and trying to understand people was one of the takeaway. And in his class, we do run a product, we create one. He brings in a developer, right? That kind of makes us engage. And sometimes they might be mean, and now I know why they were mean. Not everyone will be friendly to you while you work, because you work cross-functional departments, right? So how to manage people, how to collaborate, and how to understand people. He will tell us to create a persona, and you think that it doesn't count. It does count, because you could actually use that person to actually know how to manage someone. And right now, I'm kind of like one of the go-to guy when it comes to stakeholder engagement, because I know how to not convince someone, but kind of like try to convince them that what you're doing is for the betterment of a product. And that's one good thing about Dr. Finn. He knows how to make you navigate through some difficult thing. And it's a 10-week course, but to me, I'm still in his class to date, because he kind of help you when you're there, and still just, yeah. So, and I can do referral for Microsoft, but I cannot guarantee you an interview, but I can definitely do referrals. So yeah.
Fantastic. I love, love, love what you've just shared. Do you know what, Dion? I hope you're paying Dr. Finn for the extra lessons that you're getting. Because 10 weeks, right?
Yeah, because I moved from the UK to Canada some 4 or 5 years ago, and I have met him on 2 occasions without even knowing, and because he's a cousin's friend, and yeah, he's wonderful to be around with, and I told him that I owe him a bottle of a 12-year-old scotch.
I'm sure he wants the cash, not the scotch. But let's leave it there. I love it. I love the idea of creating personas. Love the idea that stakeholder engagement is a big thing, because actually in any industry, in any organization, you do need that skill to learn how to manage your stakeholders, because it gets you through doors and it helps build networks and relationships. So really amazing. Thank you so much for that. What you said there. I love what you said about you can definitely refer. You cannot guarantee an interview, but you can definitely refer. Are you referable? That's the question. Are you referable? So if you're listening here today, we've got Dion here who's saying, I can refer you, but are you referable? He's not just going to refer anyone for the sake of I want to refer, right? So yeah, let's get that correct, of course. Okay, so let me move to you, Blessing. What's been your biggest success as a product owner, and how did the training that you did with Dr. Finn contribute to your success?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thanks for that question. So one of the things Dr. Finn really focused on after the training, we did have an optional practical course. So he would, like Dion said, he would bring other developers and other specialists, including himself. And then they will take us on things that are even outside of the course. And at the end of the day, we do get the option of building our own products and then creating the personas and working through all of that. While doing that, I remember one of the things that was a huge thing that he mentioned that really helped me was that making sure that we are data driven, making sure that whatever decision we are making is not just based on popular opinion or what we think, but based on what we have researched or what the data shows. So that practically shows, that makes building trust and having conversations with people that have been in the industry or in the company for a very long time. They have very strong opinions. It's difficult to get their trust. But when you have the data and you can prove that and you can show it to them that this is what I saw, if you can dispute this, it's very difficult to dispute data. So if you can't dispute it and you're saying, I should leave this, that would definitely, that is showing by data to definitely give us this, and you want me to go your route and do what you want. As long as you have that in writing, then we can go with what you say. And most of the time, people just hands off and then they just tell you, okay, we'll go with what you're saying. So that's a very good way to build trust. And that's one thing I did learn from that course. Yeah.
Fantastic. I love the data-driven evidence, because you can't deny it. You can't deny what's staring at you in the face. So thank you so much, Blessing. I think I would like for us to move to Q&A. So guys, if you've got a question, please put it in the chat function so that we can address your questions before we wrap up. We did promise this was going to be a 60-minute session, and we're really up to the wire. So I would like to invite Dr. Finn back, either to maybe add a few things to what has already been shared by the panelists, or to address, I don't see any questions at all. I see that someone's hand is up. Taya, would you mind putting your question, so adding your question to the chat function so I can pick it up? Okay, so someone's asking, how much is the program? So Dr. Finn will come up and share with you how much the program is, and other relevant information that you need to make the most of this opportunity. It's 10 weeks. Again, maybe looking at the structure, the content would also be very helpful. Of course, one of the things that stood out for me when I looked at Dr. Finn's presentation was the earning power. So the salary at the end. So I was looking at it, and Data Analyst, it said it had something like 6 million naira, 77,000 USA dollars, 43,000 Canadian dollars. I thought, wow, this is really good money actually, for any of these tech roles. So over to you, Dr. Finn. Questions about the program, structure, content, how much is it? Would you like to please share with us?
Yeah, so the program, the way we've built it out is for the live programs, it's a 3-part program. So the first part is we take you through the 10 weeks theoretical concept of what each of the roles, whichever one you've chosen, and the combination of all of them is about. Then we have practical session where you would learn how to build a product and actually build yours. And thirdly, we'll teach you the tools that you're going to be using at work, so you will build it using the right tools. And then when you're done, you now get access to our alumni benefits, which is a career coaching in terms of optional second project to help solidify your knowledge. Also, access to unlimited alumni coaching, mock interview prep, resumes, LinkedIn optimization support, everything you need to get you out there, including mock interview support. For our live programs, the cost is $3,000 US because we cover all tools and everything we need. And this is for people based in Europe and the Americas. And right now, only a few people know this, but we're doing early registration. I'm launching it now that if you register within the next 7 days, you get it for $2,000 US. So $1,000 off. You're going to be getting emails from my team for everyone that wants to join and register for it. And you also have the option to pay in 1, 2, or 3 installments. Registration doesn't require you to pay. It just requires you to hold the discount and make sure you pay before the start of class. So this is going to be available to everyone for the next 7 days. Secondly, for our self-paced program for people out of Africa and all of that, is we've set up a more concise program for $500 US, but that's going to be discounted to 50% for everyone if you can confirm that you're African or you're based out of Africa. And it covers all the courses that we have. So any of the courses, whether it's business analyst, product manager, virtual assistant, scrum master, and all of that. And you can either do, if you're based abroad, we recommend the live programs because that helps you solidify the knowledge you need to be one of our alumni and get the job that you want or the career path that you want. Key thing I want you to leave here with is there is no limitation that stops you from getting into tech, except yourself. You just need to build or use the steps that were provided to you and go through it to actually build your knowledge, your expertise, so that you will be able to not just get into tech, but get the role that you deserve.
Wow, I think that's absolutely generous, Dr. Finn, and I say that with every sense of responsibility. Most offers last for no longer than 48 hours. So if you're opening this up for 7 days, is quite generous. And the 50% discount, was that for the self-paced
The self-paced course?
Wow, very generous, very generous. But I'm not the one in charge. It's all about Dr. Finn. So I have got a few questions, I think. There's one that says, I'm a web developer based in Lagos, Nigeria. And based on my background, which of these courses do you think would be a good fit to add to my resume? So web developer based in Lagos.
So one of the key things, especially as a web developer, that you would need is your ability to understand from the customer side, which is you're writing software, but how is this valuable to the customers or the users of the software? So one of the key roles that helps you get that visibility and will help you become a better developer is a product manager, because you're writing the codes to implement functionalities. And half of the time you do not understand how this is being used. So your ability to understand is like you're building a car, but you've never driven it. That's 90% of software developers today. So that understanding of the other view makes you better, makes you make the best decision on the direction of the software you're building.
Fantastic. I think that's all we have time for today. If you do have any questions, then you're going to have to connect with these any of these panelists via LinkedIn, and they can drop their handles in the chat function before we wrap up. But I'm going to hand over to you, Dr. Finn, for your closing remarks.
There's some questions in the Q&A. There were some questions in the Q&A from Elsie Ufoma, Ogale, and Omar. I don't know if you can see that. In
okay.
The Q&A,
yeah, I can see it now.
Just after the chat. Yeah, I think we can maybe we can quickly answer some of.
Okay, so
and even the panelists, they can share their own answers quickly, just so that we can attend to those people here.
Yeah. Okay. So this is for you, Dr. Finn. Elsie is asking, I wanted to start the data analysis training program, but when I clicked on it, it takes me to project manager. Yeah. Is that an error?
Yeah, so I'll check it to confirm. You should be able to access it, but it depends. Are you talking about a free program? I would confirm, and that's available. So I'll make a note to personally reach out to you after this session.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And then I've got two questions. Blessing, one's for you. Did you get into business owner from a non-tech background, or you had prior experience? That's for you, Blessing.
Yeah, I had prior experience.
Okay, fantastic. Was the course the only guidance into a business owner?
I believe she, I don't say business analyst.
Okay.
She actually put product owner. She made because an error.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. There's another one. What do you teach to become a project manager or AI project manager?
So project management is generic. Now AI is just another area that you can use to influence any industry. So managing any project, whether it's AI or not, doesn't change. What changes is the skill set or the industry experience. So yes, we cover all of that. We also will cover how to use AI, other tools that are available within the industry to help you get the skill set you need.
Fantastic. Is there a cybersecurity training?
At the moment, no. It's one of the courses that likely will come a little bit down the lane, and it's deliberate for us to be delaying it because there's a pause right now around cybersecurity, similar to what happened in other industries, and we are looking at it because it's likely going to bust due to the fact that the roles are not growing as fast as the people that are training for it. But every company uses on an average, and even as an individual, pick out your phone, you have at least 10 to 20 applications. So those applications have business analysts. Those applications have product owners. Those applications have project managers and scrum masters. So the more softwares are created, the more these roles are relevant. And those applications need data scientists and data analysts to provide the right information for us to grow it. So that's why we're focusing on the roles that are growing expeditiously and roles that are being influenced by AI, by Internet of Things, by virtual reality, augmented reality, so that you can be at the top front. Because immediately you get into that, switching into cybersecurity is easier because you're already an expert in the industry.
Makes sense. I think I've got the answer to this, but just for clarity. So for those who are in Nigeria, they pay 50% of $500.
Yes.
And that's is that within the 7 days?
So for those programs that are self-paced program, we make it open because you can join every month starting from January. So leaving it for the next call for those who register to be able to get that at 50%.
When do they have to register by?
For those in Nigeria, we're leaving that open. You have till January 11th because that's specifically localized for those out of Africa. And we're going to be inviting anyone to, and this leads to the next, we're going to be inviting those based out of Africa to a community group that we are setting up specifically for them. You're all going to get an invite to that specific group or be added to the group within the next couple of days.
Fantastic. And I think there's a final question, which is, actually there's a bit more. So what percentage of your students have been able to secure paid roles since inception?
So we have different types of expectation when it comes to students. Some of them are coming to improve their skill set because they are kind of figured out a way to take. Some are coming because they want to come in direct into it. Some of them are coming to improve their skill set with regards to tech roles and combat. So it's depended on your location, as we have students scattered from around the world, and it's dependent on your location. We provide the needed support for you to get it, and most of our students who use it get that. But some people might not want to immediately switch careers. Some are waiting to the next year. So we don't grade in terms of everyone because everyone's journey is different. Some will finish it and defer and come back in 3 months to look for a job. But what we focus on is 99% of our students get the support, the assistance, even the job set. And probably a good thing to mention is we actually go look for jobs in your location and send to you multiple times a week to ensure that we are pushing you to apply. Because there's always that imposter syndrome that a bunch of people have saying, I don't think I'm good enough, and we want to push you over the cliff because most time you would fly. But we want to give you that extra cushion to get that.
Wow, that's like over pampering people. Well, that's great. That's really great stuff. Constantinos is asking, do you have a web page to see these programs? Is there anywhere that you can go to?
Yes,
fantastic.
We do have a web page that's available, and I actually shared the code in the chat. And my team is also in the chat. They're also going to drop the web page with all our trainings that you can access all our programs.
Fantastic. Tolu Lokbe is asking, and those based in North America, when is the payment due? So this is the 2000, I think you already said this, 7 days, within 7 days.
7 days. Yeah, so within 7 days, you need to register to lock in the discount. And we understand these Christmas holidays, people are shopping for themselves, kids and all of that. So I open it up to the 1st of January or the 2nd of January. But the key thing is that when you register, you have the opportunity to pay in installments. So we give that flexibility that you could pay in 1, 2, or 3 installments because we understand it's easier for you to plan it over the 3 months of the program. So yes, you have to pay, but our cutoff is the 10th because class is starting the next day. We want to ensure that you're serious and you're committed to the program, because one of the best ways to show commitment is to ensure that you are not just committing your time but committing your finances so that you can earn that 6-figure income that you're looking to get.
Fantastic. It's about TEA, committing your time, your energy and attention. I love it. Another question, a really quick one. How is the class schedule? So we know it's 10 weeks, but what's the schedule? Is it weekly? Is it bi-weekly?
The live classes is weekly. So we have 5 hours you spend with me. So you're going to be spending 50 hours over the 10 weeks with me. 3 hours on Saturdays, where we'll go through the concept and we will demystify those fancy tech words that you hear every day. And then we'll spend another 2 hours of you building your product using the tools and the software. So we'll call that our practical session. And every week you have expectations that get you closer to building your product. So it's like laying bricks. Every week we're laying a couple of bricks to get to the end, so that at the end, you will be able to look back and see all your accomplishments, all you've delivered. And that's what we call your portfolio that you can take and go sell yourself with, saying, hey, I've done this before and this is how I did it.
Oh, fantastic. So that answers the question. I don't know who this person is. It says iPhone. They've said, I have no idea on tech, but I'd like to go into BA or PM, business analyst or project management. So again, you've heard it all. The 10 weeks is available for you. Let me see if there are other questions. Hopefully I've not missed any other questions. So